Oh hi. Today I thought I'd have a bit of a kind of retrospect talk about my kit. I've had a Braumeister now for almost about 6-7 months, and I thought I'd just go through the good bits and the bad bits, which I've noticed. Not many bad bits, I must admit. It's been quite nice to have. I'm also going to try to get it nice and close and show you a lot more of the kit in detail, and perhaps show you some bits that you don't normally see on a brew day. You might have seen it on other home brewers, but I'm just going to quickly go through a lot in a lot more detail, and also talk about how I use it, how I clean it, how I pack it away, and all those little details that you don't actually see on a brew day. Most of the time, at the moment, I'll quickly show you me mashing my doughing in, and show you a bit of bush or hops going in. And yeah, I do admit I do skip around quite a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of home brewers do that. It's a busy day, it's like ever, and you're just trying to get the brew out, and you've got to try to prioritise what your viewers are seeing, be it with with the enjoyment of actually having the day and doing one of your most favourite hobbies. So let's get along with it, and I'll start off by showing you what it all looks like when it's just packed away in the cupboard upstairs. So I was lying slightly. Obviously, I took it out of the cupboard, but then I keep it upstairs, out of the way, and I just cover it in the blanket. That's all I do it really. But yeah, let's show you. I'll obviously take it apart now, in the way I actually have it all packed away. Obviously the top's on there. This has all been obviously cleaned after the brews I made last weekend. I'll show you all these bits in detail there. But what I normally do, I've got some power cables and things inside here, and I've got the pipe that you have. And what I do, I just normally just cable tie it all together at the top there. So let's get it all out and ready for the brew day kind of thing. So I obviously just get these cable ties off. Pick these up from a local place, they're really dirt cheap. This is the hook. You might have seen all this from the unpackaging video, which is from a few months ago. But yeah, this is the lifting thing, and obviously the bits of pipes and things which I use. And this is obviously the bit that goes on the top here when I lift the basket out. So on a normal brew day, I'd take all this stuff out. I wouldn't find places to discreet it. It's around the kitchen. Okay, so I got. When I originally got it sent to me, I didn't actually have I had actually a German connector, which was a little bit irritating. But it's just a normal. D sub connection, I think they're called D. Same thing as you plug it back to the computer. There's loads of these knocking around, but this has got a 13 amp fuse in it. Maybe I should really bring the fuse down a little bit to maybe a 5 amp one, but I'll perhaps maybe I might look at that someday. Okay, so normally I'm brewing outside, and I've got this extension cable, cheapy one from a local, or Asda or something, I'm not sure. This has got a 10 amp fuse on it. Maybe I should look to get a 10 amp fuse. I think that would be more appropriate for one system. But I run the system off this quite easily and don't have any problems. So we've taken this basket out here. We've got this array of filters in the bottom, and let's just start with the basket at the moment. One thing I've noticed is this. There's quite a good seal on the bottom here. You can see this, and this is a silicone seal. I've done quite a lot. I was slightly sceptical that this would actually not last, but it seems to be quite tough and hard wearing. I'm sure you can get spare ones, but it's a little bit fiddly, but it's no way as fiddly as the little seals on the old grain fibre used to be. What you normally do is just try to get two sides, and it looks as if it's not going to go. You just squidge it around a bit. And what this is used for, obviously, it obviously protects the bottom of the boiler from getting scratched by the edge, but also when you're doing the recirculation, it actually creates a proper airtight seal with liquid type seal in order to force the water from the bottom of the. So obviously it pumps up inside and overflows over the top. So having that seal there is quite important. As you can see, it fits on quite tight. It's made of silicone, it's quite tough, and it doesn't seem to be perishing so far. And as I said, I've made a good 20 to 30 brews of it now. So you can see get a feel for how tough it is. It's a lot more, I don't know, but it doesn't flex or anything like that. It's quite a solid build. It does give a little bit when you try to flex it a bit, but apart from that, it's fine. These things here, you do often I've wondered when I had the grain fibre that the clips wouldn't actually stand up to it, and they always seemed a bit flimsy, especially the little metal ring on the inside. I've seen in some systems the clip just break off, but they slip off and the malt basket fall back into the mash, with the result of the wort flying all over the person who's making it. There are a few water stains on here. Yeah, I don't generally fuss around too much with this. I just scrub it off with a scrubber. And there's also, you can see here's little bits of grain and bits of sugars and things left over from the last brew. So I mean, all I do with this is just mash, so that's fine. So I should really give it a bit of a scrub, but I think every 5 or 6 things I actually get some I get some of this stuff, and it's called barkeeper's friend in the UK, and it's just a citric acid based cleaner. It does a good job. It's just it's a powder, so like that look, and it's obviously a citric acid powder. You just put a bit of water with it, rub it onto the metal, and it obviously reacts and cleans it very well. This is what I've done to the actual main system. Yeah, this is what I've done to the main system here. I've used this barkeeper's thread on the outside. You can see it gets rid of all the stains. I give it a bit of a polish up every now and again. So that's worked really well. So coming back to the filters, you can see it's fine. There's no damage or anything. I've been using it for the last few months. You've got a few little scratches around there, which is expected. And yeah, solid bit of kit. I don't think that's going to have a break. And then you get these fine filters, and sometimes you get little bits of stuff stuck in them. And I've heard that some people saying that the outsides do actually start fraying after a while. I'm thinking the Speidel guys have actually excuse me, updated their design a little. One thing I have noticed, if you look here, I haven't really looked to see this before actually, is that the edge of the filter is actually pushing out a little bit, so it's not really round. Let's see if you can see that. So it's not, it's actually damaged a little bit around the edge there, but I don't think that's going to really progress really badly. When I clean these, I use a high jet water sprayer on here to spray most of this off, and that seems to do the job. Same true obviously with this bit of kit here, then I just scrub it a little bit if I need to, but most of the time I don't fuss with it too much. Okay, so let's get a bit closer and see if we can have a look at this in even more fine detail. Okay, so let's start at the front and move our way around as much as we can anyway. This obviously is the tap at the front here, and this will, it does actually screw out by hand. I've never tried doing that before, but it's normally, this is just hand tight on here and it never leaks anyway, so it's quite good. And I haven't actually looked at this for a while, but if you look here, there's actually hop debris stuck inside, which is the bit, which is where I suppose I should really look at that. But there's a few little bits of hops in there. It's all clear now. Yeah, I don't really pay much attention to this. Obviously, I just use it for draining. Inside here, you can see that. Inside here, obviously, is the where the tap goes into. There's a little bit of beer scale stuff in there, but it's not too bad. I don't necessarily take it apart too often. This is the first time I've actually taken it apart since I've had the system, so it just goes to show. It's machined quite tight, so you have to obviously get the things quite tight on there. That's fine. I've got that tight there. I think you can actually turn the things around independently, but that's on as tight as it goes, and you can't tighten it anymore, so it's all sealed up quite well. Obviously I've been using this quite a lot. There's still quite a lot of water in here. It's actually dribbled out actually onto the table. So you may have noticed I haven't really had really good experiences with this. It's just maybe a waste of time. I think I'd just rather have a cooling coil or something like that. But I've started using this in combination with my coil chiller, and that's been working well. I may actually buy some thicker microbore, a 10mm microbore as opposed to the 8mm microbore, just to get that extra bit of, just to bring the cooling time down a little bit. And as you would have seen from my brewing videos, I normally put the cooling coil in there and then I come out and go around the outside, and that's working quite well. I haven't really looked at these bits really since they're obviously quite tough stuff, like proper industrial type of professional type connectors, but I haven't really touched these much. Okay, the handles, the rubber things on the handles, they can actually sometimes come off a little bit. You can see that there's a little bit of dirt, a bit of grain in there. I haven't really scrubbed these much, but it's much better than having the metal, hold on to the metal things. I have actually tried moving the system when it's been full, but it's not recommended anyway by people. So, good. Okay. So let's take a look at the bottom, and then we'll I'll take a look inside. Well, hopefully you can see all this. Let's try to explain what's going on in here. So obviously at the side here we've got the bottom drain pipe. I haven't actually personally taken this off like I have with the tap at the front there, but let's have a quick look now. I bet it's full of all sorts of shit. No, it's actually quite clean. That obviously goes directly into the bottom of the base. It's all been welded on, so it's quite solid, and it's exactly a straight duplicate of the tap on the front. Nothing special there. So let's have a look at the other connections. I haven't really thought about a lot of these actually, but looks like there are a few more things here. This is a shrink wrap on here. It's got a little bit of a hole actually, but I think these are thermometers. I'm not sure. No. So these are actually for the heating coil inside. So those are the two heating coil bits there. And so go back a bit. And that there is the thermostat. It's right at the bottom, so when it's when all the boiling's going on, stuff like that, it actually only takes the temperature from the bottom. So the heat, obviously it doesn't. You may not actually get the correct reading, but I mean it's what you need to do is have two or three thermometers around the system to actually get a kind of mean temperature. In here there's obviously this is the power connection where you stick the power into. This is all the gubbins, all the connection. This is obviously a heat sink for the heating system. Well, I don't know what's in there. There must be some sort of switching system in there. This here, I think, is for the. What does it look like? Yeah, I think that's for the Wi-Fi unit. I haven't actually bought one yet. I'm just considering it, but I haven't actually got that far yet. Ooh. And yeah, coming down to the pump. This is a lower. What is it? It's a 9 watt pump. And whenever I finish my brew day, what I have to do is to take this off, and obviously a bit of water in there, but that's obviously same as all the other pumps that you get. Magnetic connection there, and if you look inside here, hopefully you can see that. You can see where the water. I think the water comes in here. No, the water must be. I think the water gets sucked in here. Yep, water gets sucked in here and pushed out through this gap here. Got an O-ring at the side there. I think on my last brew day, I actually did my first brew, and there was water leaking everywhere. And then I walked upstairs and I saw this metal ring here, that one there. I saw that metal ring on the floor and I thought, where'd that come from? And then my missus pointed out to me there was like water all over the worktop. So for the second brew I put that back in. But you have to do it hand tied. Down here you've got the bottom of the pipe that goes at the middle. I'll show you that in a second. And yeah, this is the bottom of the base unit. It's got a little sign on there telling you not to put water in there. But I think I have actually got water in there. Like with a lot of Speidel owners, when it gets up to about maybe above 70 centigrade, it actually starts, you get a little bit of mist in the corner here. So I'm debating whether to open up the case and put a little silica thing in there, but this is okay. It's obviously screwed to the bottom with these two metal things here, so it just wobbles around on there. But yeah, that's the bottom. So we're looking from the top down now. Let's have a look a bit inside, a bit more detail. So down there that's the thermostat. These are obviously the heating elements that I showed you before. They're all loose and they wobble around a bit. That there is the drain hole where you obviously it drains out, and that's the input port, and this is the output port of the pump. Now you can actually buy special brushes to actually clean these out, but I haven't actually done that yet. I don't know whether I should. And we've got this pipe at the middle here, so I'm quite tight. And down there you've got some sort of, I think, cover to, I don't know, I think it must have some sort of connection on there to seal up to stop water leaking through. What I do find, I get some, I think it's called beer stone and stuff around where the heated elements come out around here, and also I get a little bit of a build-up of limescale and stuff just here. It's very awkward to get to with cleaning. I think every now and again I should just come round to it and just give it a good go. I think today I will actually give it a good scrub and try to get down the back there. That is a very awkward part to get to. Because obviously it uses elements to boil the water. You don't actually have a place on the bottom where it can actually get burnt on, which is quite handy, but obviously you can still get singeing on the connections here. And yeah, so yeah, perhaps this is a slight weakness. It would be really good if I can get somehow get something better way to clean this, have it get my hand on about there. I'll think about that today. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over the control systems on the Braumeister. Let's just start off. I'm actually in the settings section at the moment. It's actually controlled. There's each one of these items here. It's not a touch screen. Matches up with the buttons underneath here. So you've got obviously it's 4 buttons, 4 selections. So language wise, you've got English, French, Spanish or German. Not many languages, but I'm sure it's enough. And let's have a look. Then there's some lighting options. Let's go down. So we've got green, red, turquoise, maybe purple, yellow, and I think that's blue again. Oh, and that's off. Well, there's quite a lot of colours actually. I must have spent quite a lot of time working out these background colours. Okay, so let's just select that, but that's my favourite colour at the moment. Let's go down. There's time. Not much to say about that. Units. That's just going to be centigrade or Fahrenheit. I'll stick with Fahrenheit. Centigrade. Boiling. this is something interesting. You can either set it with or without regulation, and that means when it gets up to boiling, it doesn't actually keep cutting back on the thermostat when it's in a rolling boil. It just actually keeps it going really fast. I'm keeping that without regulation. And the last bit is, if we can get it to work, is Wi-Fi, which this doesn't actually work because I haven't got a Wi-Fi connector on there. It says module not present. Okay, so let's go back to the main menu. So there's not much there to change. I think if you have a Wi-Fi unit, you would be able to upload recipes and things, and also do firmware updates. It's obviously on version 1.1.24 on January 12, 2017. So it's almost a year out of date now. Okay, so let's go on to the recipe system. They give you about 3 or 4 recipes which are, or maybe 5 recipes which are there already. I think there's something like medium, light and a heavy recipe, or like a kind of full-bodied recipes. From last weekend I did one for a lager and I did one for an APA. I think that's the way I'm going to go from now on. I'm just going to obviously set up recipes for specific styles I'm doing, but you can see there's quite a few there. On the system there is the mashing steps, so you get up to 5 mashing steps. Then you have boiling, which obviously just set the duration of the boil. My system seems to boil at about 98. And then you can do your hopping additions, and you can do up to 6 hopping additions on there, which I think is more than enough for most people. Once you've selected your recipe, you can go to brew start and select your recipe, and then just click start, and then it also just takes you through the actual brewing process. So the last little bit is the manual settings, and let's quickly go into it there. The manual settings, you can actually tell a pump to be on and off, or the heater to be on and off, and then you can also define what you want the temperature to be. Obviously that temperature there is the current temperature in this room, and that's the temperature you want the actual water to be brought up to. And well, that's about it. So there it is. I'm sure I will think of something that I forgot later on and keep myself, but I'll one thing I didn't show you is the lid. Let's show you the lid. The lid's the lid actually. They put these useful little warning signs here next to the holes, so in case a bit of steam comes out and burns your hand. But I think if you're getting very close to this, it's hot anyway. Obviously you get a little bolt here with a washer on, and you can just, and yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? So that's it. I can't think of anything else to show you at the moment. Hopefully it's covered everything that you would be interested in on the system. Please ask any questions down below and I'll try to answer them. I'm seeing I mean, ever since I bought this, there's a lot more brewing systems on the market. You think things, you've got the Pico brews, and you've got the other one, which is a great big metal box, which is obviously something that you can't really keep in your kitchen, even though I think they're trying to push that. I think it's called Brewery. There's obviously some of the other systems like the Braumeister, and you've got the Bulldog brewing systems, and all sorts of things. And like anything really, you can pay as much as you want really. As you've seen with this system here, it's quite unique, and I don't think I've seen many other systems done by any other manufacturers where it actually underlets, the water comes up up and actually over the top. I feel as if I did spend, at the time when I bought it, I was obviously on a wave, I had saved a bit of money up and I just splashed out, and I was slightly irritated with the grandfather. There was quite a lot of blocking and stuff going on with the hops, and I used to get, even though I had counterflow chiller, I was always not very happy that it was actually keeping the water it was actually cleaning itself out properly when you did, after you did counterflow stuff. That's an aside anyway. But yeah, I spent a lot of money. On the other hand, I think I've got a really good boot system. I think everybody else who's spent, if they spent £500 or they spent £1,000 or maybe about £1,200, what I pay, you pay your money and you get something which is at the level that you expect. If you're really serious into your homebrew and you've got the money, I would recommend buy it. Maybe perhaps shy away from the Plus and just buy a one with a counter chill in it, or not counter, with a immersion chiller, or you could even look at just getting a plate chiller and stuff like that. Okay, so bye bye. Thank you for watching. As I said, leave any questions. Please like, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you again for another brew day or another homebrew Wednesday. Bye.